Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the Imperial Splendour mod. We're playing as Prussia, and last time around we dealt with the Dutch. They decided they would rather actually die than cede any part of their colonies, and so, yeah, they died. Currently, their colonies are actually unoccupied rebel territories, so it's the island down here of Ceylon, and then we also have the islands over here. Now, given the fact that, I mean, I do not really have a strong navy, I don't really see me sending an army out to collect these territories. What we're gonna do is we're gonna attack France, because we have been at war with them for quite a while without actually coming to blows with them. And that is what we're gonna do today. So we have a full stack under Prussia, ready to march on Flanders, where we have Nicholas Baron de Luckner, maybe. Nicholas Baron de Luckner, Marshal de France. And he has mostly cavalry. And then there's a force back here. Seemingly a big problem with this mod is that no one has any money for any troops. So there's no big armies anywhere. The French have had plenty of time. And they have plenty of territory to build up their forces. It could be that the French have been focusing on trying to keep their forces in North America. I know when I test played the mod, I played as the French, and it was actually quite difficult because you start off at war with the British. I'm pretty surprised they haven't lost this territory, because I lost that almost immediately. There was not really a lot of resistance I was able to put up against the British. And then they own something in India. I think they start off with an army here, or a fleet at least. I think. Anyways, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna attack Flanders, and hopefully even pass on and take Strasbourg, because that is without a defense force. So we should be able to take that as well. Hopefully we can kind of keep these guys under control. Or on the new provinces as well. Hopefully the Hanoverians will come around to our rule, so we can leave this, so I can get the Herzog von Brunswick. I can get him down. So we got all three armies ready to invade France. Once France falls, actually they still have Corsica after that, but once I think France, we have a much better chance of actually getting some colonies out of them. I'm not looking to gain any mainland American stuff. I'm looking at getting some islands, or I want some like plantations. I don't know, what do we want? Do we want sugar? Is not that good. Spices, good. Yes. Spices. And they do get spices over here. So if we... then they've got gold here as well. So if we get this territory, if we can somehow get that from the French, that would be really nice. I have blockaded their port, and what seems to be the largest navy, which is over here, blocked by my puny force of 3 fire ships and a sloop, which is just basically a suicide force. It's gonna go ahead and blow themselves up against the French fleet, stop them from raiding our trade. At some point, I probably should go ahead and invest in a proper fleet. I do have an income of 15,000 per turn, so that should lend itself to at least some kind of a fleet that would deter aggression towards my trade. Since a lot of income comes through tax. Now, it is about 2/3 is tax, and 1/3 Let's trade. Normally I do a lot more trade. But we do not have any exotic items really in Prussia, so... also just to mention here, Sweden fell. My vassal. Russia took it. And that really puts us at odds with them. So once we kind of dealt with what we need to do in the west, we're definitely going to head east and deal with the Russians. And at some point I have to deal with the Republican Austrians as well. There's a lot of stuff going on. Anyways, Blue Shirt now marching on Brussels. They have 3,200 men against our 5,200 men. Lots of cavalry on their side. Should hopefully be a pretty easy victory. So without further ado, let's go ahead and fight this battle, shall we? It's pretty cramped with space here at the outskirts of Brussels, but I've been able to fit my army in between, or in this little square that I'm allowed to deploy in. What I've done is we've got 4 units of musketeers in the front line, with the Fusilier battalion on the furthest left. These guys are then followed by 3 units of grenadiers. And behind them we've got the howitzers, and behind them we've got the 2 elite battalions. So the Guard Regiment and the Guard Regiment Grenadier Battalion. And then behind them we've got the 6-pounders over here. Hopefully they'll be able to shoot over my army. 12-pounders over here, same with them. General over here. As there's a big town on the left of, or not the left, the right of the field, that doesn't really make it easy for cavalry to move through. So we're gonna move the cavalry out to the open on this side. However, there's not a lot of space here either. There's actually, I think, more space really on this side, but the town is in the way, so it doesn't it kind of hinders proper cavalry charges and stuff. So we're not gonna attack on that side. With that said, let's see. Set to explosive shot. Does everyone have toggle guard mode on? Yes. Then we can start. And we're going to do that by moving the cavalry out onto the field. I get them like that. Comes the first cannon barrage towards the enemy. They've been able to dig in, so they got their 4-pounders over here dug in. We've got French infantry marching up. Most of their army is, though, kind of all of it is cavalry, so we're going to keep an eye out for that. I'm going to march up my troops, and then maybe we can take a closer look at some more of the French units. One thing that I forgot here is the units backing up in 2nd and 3rd row should definitely not be on fire at will. Easy target for enemy artillery, but I doubt they'll fire through their own troops, and they only have 1 4-pounder cannon. So I doubt it even has range almost to hit us. So my troops are marching up. Looks nice. Hopefully I haven't shot any of my own as they pass the artillery over here. Looks fine. Just as I say that, they actually shot one of them. Guard Grenadier Battalion. Got a shot in the back. But my battalions are moving forward. Very nice. Kind of see the enemy cavalry moving on the right, so we should prepare already, possibly actually move this one into square. As I can see, most of their infantry units are moving towards kind of the center and left side. You know what? I'm gonna run these into position because there's a lot of enemy dragoons moving up over here. Ooh, cannon shot. And now musket shot. Shooting the French dragoons down. Right, It says 3rd Regiment of Dragoons, but they're actually Hussars. So we got French Hussars, followed by armed citizenry. And over here we've got their infantry moving up. So we've got Fusiliers, infantry of the line. I don't think it's the same as our Fusiliers though. The French probably call the main line infantry Fusiliers, while we call ours Musketeers. Provincial regiment moving forward. We also have another unit moving through here. Frenchmen. I do believe they also have Swiss somewhere. Where can I find these? Ah, here we go. Swiss Guard, the red coats of the Swiss. Moving forward. Have we already almost destroyed this house? Heavy fighting around here. But then also heavy fighting here. These guys started opening fire. Cavalry is now charging straight into the line. It's not going too well for them though. They're not able to break up the line. Plus the musket fire is murdering them, so that side is now broken, leaving the Swiss alone. But I imagine the Swiss are pretty good. They've actually, they've bayonet charged my Fusilier battalion. That's not great. I'm gonna get these grenadiers to turn like that, put them fired well, and we're gonna retreat the Fusiliers. I'm gonna move forward, and we're gonna kind of stop the pursuit a little bit by sandwiching them now. So I've got the cuirassiers coming in. It's gonna attack from the side, and then hopefully these grenadiers will open up and shoot these guys from the other side. So gonna halt them there, and I'm gonna halt the Fusiliers. I think we probably shot quite a lot of our own. I'm gonna pull the cavalry back at this point. Now the Fusiliers kind of ready to get back into action. Most of the Frenchmen are actually running at this point. I can see the main frontline battalion has actually been quite severely cut down by the French opponents, but it still fights. Actually, a lot of my units on the front line have been... Oh, now they're back. We'll deploy the Dragoons really quick there. A lot of the front line units are not doing too well. We'll spearhead some grenadier units for chargers. I like it's sort of... We've got the Swiss. They really don't want to give up. They formed a small square of 70 men right in front, right in the front line. Okay, these guys were broken already. Oh, I didn't tell these guys to speed it up, did I? We're gonna get this grenadier to actually swing out and move into there, and we're gonna get the Fusiliers to move on to there. We're gonna leave the Dragoons fighting these guys for a little while. These guys are gonna keep their positions. Ooh, I don't like the fact that you are doing what you're doing, moving to square. There's a lot of enemy cavalry coming in there. A lot of enemy cavalry coming in there. Okay, the grenadiers are more or less in place. Gonna pull the cavalry back. Let's pull all... I'm gonna put all the cavalry on that unit. And as we pull away here, it should be just in time for the grenadiers to open fire. And hopefully kind of break the French Fusiliers. This unit suffered heavily throughout this battle, 250 men. This one also a lot. I'm not entirely sure. It seems like a lot of you guys are, yeah, ready to fire on the armed citizenry. Square over here needs aid. I'm gonna move this grenadier unit. Open fire on the enemy through the flank. Artillery, hold fire and then pick targets once more. I'll converge all the cavalry towards the armed citizenry. And then I think we can pull forward towards the enemy's artillery position. We should be pretty gold. There's a lot of cavalry out here though. I guess my howitzers have been targeting this area a lot. A lot of the reserve crew members are dead. For some reason they turned this cannon around. We still got a lot of French cavalry though. Dragoons. Carabiniers. Du Comte de Provence. I don't think that's the French general. Marshal of France. Let's go back to the front line. We have enemy cavalry approaching. Held the fire for as long as possible. Took out loads of them. And they broke just before they reached the line. I think if we fired as soon as we saw them, we wouldn't have gotten as good of a shot. So good little micromanagement there. It seems like it's sort of, I don't know if it's a bug, but it seems like I'm only really able to click this form square. It seemed like I couldn't really click it at the start of the battle. Very little of the enemy army remains. We've got the Marshal of France, we've got some armed citizenry, got their cavalry over here. I guess the dragoons will sit this one out. They've lost a lot. Let's see if the hussars are enough. 200 hussars. Riding straight towards these guys. We lost... Damn, we lost tons of hussars in that charge. That did not go at all as I thought it would. The Hussar unit lost like 70 men. All kind of in that charge. Within seconds, they were reduced to about half the size of the unit. But we were able to secure victory nonetheless. Damn. Cavalry can be really vulnerable. All those hussars kind of just almost instantly die against that French cavalry unit. And also I was really surprised to see the amount of casualties that my musketeer frontline units suffered against the French musket volleys. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but I mean the unit that was most savagely attacked lost 250 men, almost half the unit, but they've got so many chevrons or so much experience that they held. The line held, but they lost a lot. Yeah. That's it for the Battle of Belgium. Or Battle of Brussels and Belgium, we should say. I think we can hold fire. The enemy is well and truly defeated. The howitzer actually kind of achieved something in this because they were able to break the enemy defending around the cannons. And they were able to blow them up in a really great way, even with the defenses there. So it seems like the howitzers, I don't know, maybe the placement or whatever, got a really good, got some really good shots out of that. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the statistics and see what actually kind of transpired in terms of that in the battle. Here's the statistics of the battle. So we lost 1,500 men out of our 5,000. The enemy, however, lost everyone, but it's a town battle, so they're supposed to always lose everyone. So it's not really... I've said that too many times. You kind of get it at this point. But it's not accurate then, roughly, how many were killed. Musketeer battalions in the front obviously did the most. Fusilier battalion, not so much, but then again they were charged, melee charged. So no surprise that they weren't able to get a lot of kills. The howitzers got about 60 each. And the normal artillery didn't really get anything. One of the guard regiments actually lost about 60 people without even really being in battle. But that's what I get for deploying them in such a thick formation. But then again, there was a lot of cavalry, so it's necessary to have that sort of troops in behind to be able to plug gaps if they had successfully mass charged us with cavalry. And yeah, it wasn't too bad though, 60 men. And we still have a fighting force even after losing 1,500 men. 3,700, that's still fighting numbers. And Brussels is now ours. They haven't even bothered building roads here. You can't spend all your money on waffles, can you? We've got Dockyard, which I think is okay. I do have so many trading ports, so having another actual naval port is probably just as well, because the only other one I have is the one in Finland, where we can... I'm actually built... I completely forgot about this, because it's been actually quite a while since I played this campaign, just because I've been sick and I haven't been feeling well and I had other stuff to do. But yeah, hopefully I will be able to move in, take this pretty easily. Let's check how the French are doing in terms of... They're mighty and rich, so they still have military power. It just might be that they do not have the military power that they need in Europe. It might be in the colonies, especially in America. I think they only have colonies in America, so maybe time to bring some of those troops home. Yeah, when I see it, it's all America. So they might have been spending a lot on building forces in America, neglecting their home country, and now the peasantry, bankrupt, clamor for reform. Now we might actually have a French Revolution on our hand. I'm going to take this, and yes, but I think I'll do that off camera. Next time around we'll see kind of if they turned to a republic. But I think what I'll try to do is I try to peace out with the Kingdom of France, and we need to deal with other stuff, like the fact that Russia kind of now envelops us. So I definitely see myself attacking the Russians, so moving all the armies to the east, something like that. Could also be fun to see if the French Navy is going to try to break out and play that battle. But for now, I think we'll end the video right here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!